get started with our yin class today. Welcome everyone. So nice to have you online in studio, especially when the sun is out and it's a beautiful day. People don't often make it to class quite as regularly, so thank you for doing so. And today we're going to continue our exploration of yin yoga for summer, involving the fire element, which is connected with summer in traditional Chinese medicine. And so I will talk about that more as we work through the poses, and we talk about the organs involved and the meridians, and the poses we will be doing will target those meridians and organs, as well as just making us feel good, right? Of course. So we are going to begin today in standing position. So come to a standing position anywhere on your mat, and just come to like a soft mountain pose, feet about hips distance apart. Connect with yourself in space here on your mat. Allow your breathing to settle down after kind of rushing to class. And just notice your breath and notice your body today. Where is it feeling open? Where is it feeling tight or sore? I'm feeling a little more sore today. And so I'm going to honor that as I go through my poses. So please do the same. And sensing that breath now entering through the nostrils. And feeling the breath getting a little deeper with every inhale. Noticing how when we drop in and just make that connection with the breath, that we almost immediately feel more grounded and stable and supported. And bring your awareness to your heart space. Feel, sense if you can, that subtle beating of your heart. The heart is the yin organ associated with summer in traditional Chinese medicine. And it houses our spirit, what's called Shen. It's kind of like the spark in our life, the spark in our eyes, connecting us with joy. So we're going to step into that sense of joy today and use that word, that feeling, as our intention for our practice today, to find joy in our movement, joy in our day. Okay? So bring that notion of joy into your heart space. Do a little more today of what brings you joy. And then blinking eyes open, we're going to start with none other than breath of joy. How could we not do a little breath of joy to start practice? Okay, so breath of joy, if you're not familiar, we inhale our arms up, inhale, inhale our arms out, inhale our arms down. And this is the only standing posture, then we'll get to yin. So it's inhale, 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 down. Did I mess that up? I think I may have. Inhale up, inhale out, inhale up, and then... And when you come down, keep your head above your heart space so we don't get dizzy, okay? So let's begin. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. You can take it faster than me. You can take it slower. Just really work that breath. Let's do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, last one. let it go. Bring one hand to heart, one hand to belly. Soft gaze or eyes closed. Connect with that breath. Noticing how that short sequence of breath invigorates your body. Bringing energy into your heart. The seat of our joy. We open our heart, we allow more joy to come into our lives. We let our heartbeat settle down. Blinking eyes open. Bring a smile to your face. Hallelujah, we're coming down to the mat. So coming down to your knees, the first pose is going to be a little bit more heating, and I'll explain why. So we're going to come into a yin version of camel. Coming to your knees, tucking your toes. Feet can be flat as well, but sometimes with our toes tucked, we can feel a little more stable on our knees. So option, whichever feels better in your body. And then bringing blocks about midway between your knees and your heels, okay? So we're not taking this full expression of camel that we see in flow yoga where we're all the way back. We're not taking that pose. We're gonna take a softer version just to open the heart space, okay? So finding your foundation first. Feeling your knees, your tops of your feet or top toes on the mat, in the ground. Drawing in that pelvic floor. Pelvic floor draws in and up. Feel that connection from the ground through your pelvic floor. And then imagine that your rib cage can open, lift up, off and away from your hip points. So broadening that space. And then we begin to open our chest towards the wall in front of us. Begin to slightly push our hips towards that wall. And then bringing our fingertips down for support on the blocks. So that's why they're very close to us. We're not taking full expression, just stoking this fire a little bit. So now we breathe into this open chest, open heart space. This is a more heating pose. So as you know, there's some poses in yin where we feel more fire. It's more yang. Summer is the yang season. It's the full expression of nature. We see everything in bloom, like expressing its joy, right? When everything comes alive. So we stoke that fire of the heart. Stoke it a little bit with this gentle back bend. Continue to breathe into the heart space, opening chest, drawing shoulder blades down and back. Not hunching arms up to the ears. We take a few more breaths here. We really feel this yang quality in summer, right? We feel more energy usually ourselves. We feel more energetic. We do more activities, and sometimes it can be depleting. And that's why we also tap into these yin poses that we'll sink into right after this one. And last cycle of breath here. And then feel that low belly push out on your next inhale. Exhale, begin to lift the fingertips up. And just come to a soft kneel with your fingertips down by your legs, closing eyes if that doesn't feel unsteady. Just feel that change of energy through the spine and the front body. Allowing heart rate to once again regulate from that more heating posture. Lovely. And now we're going to make our way down to the mat. You may want to block for your head. It's completely optional, but have it if you'd like. So coming down to your bellies, all the way down, we're taking a shoulder opener here. So bringing the right arm out long at a T.
And left elbow is bent, left hand on the floor. So many of you are familiar with this stretch. We're going to begin to roll and have the block, if you like, for your head, if that feels nice. I like it without. We're going to begin to push into that left hand, roll onto the right side of our body, bend that top knee, the left knee, and tuck the left foot in behind the right knee. Now, you can determine the intensity here of the stretch by bringing knee closer to the mat for less intensity or pushing knee back for more. Okay,
and this is a deep, deep shoulder opener. Sometimes with yin, we want to get into that area, right? Sometimes we want to get in and feel the sensation. But it's really important to find that first edge and then soften into it. Okay, so if you feel like maybe you pushed into that space a little bit, back off. You can even bend both knees and stack knees and allow the body to just kind of sink forward slightly. So we're here for a couple of minutes now. Bringing your breath into that space in the front of the shoulder, down the inner line of the arm. We are now targeting the meridian lines, and we'll do both sides because they run on both sides of the body. For the heart and the pericardium, in traditional Chinese medicine, those meridian lines run from the inner line of the arm all the way down to the pinky. So they start in the chest, run down the inner line of the arm right to the outer side of the pinky. So breathing into that space. It's subtle awareness, right? It's not something that we can sort of easily explain in words. Sometimes we just have to connect with those sensations and imagine that line of energy and bring breath to it. And we're just about done on this side. Couple cycles of breath here. And now allow that next inhale to go deep into the low belly. And then exhale and begin to unwind, allowing that left knee to come back down towards the mat. And then extend the left arm and the right and just kind of notice. You can turn your head to one side and just kind of sense and feel what's happening in that shoulder area. And then we begin to take it to the other side. So now we bend the right hand, or right elbow, and right hand comes just in front of our face. And begin to roll onto that left side of the body, bending the right knee and bringing the foot behind the leg, or again, softening it down in front. Choosing your level, your intensity. I'm just going to switch sides so I'm not facing the wall away from everyone. And you may have more range of motion on this side or less, right? This is my quote unquote good side. We should probably never use those terms to describe one side or another, right? But we do. It's kind of like one side that has tension and holds stress and holds pain,
versus the other side that doesn't. So just kind of notice where you are with each side without judging. And again, finding that edge without pushing too hard. And if we're used to flow yoga, it can be a tendency to push a little bit more into a stretch, right? So soften. Smooth and steady breaths. You can also connect with the heart space as it's a little more obvious on the left side, the heart line just left of the midline of the body. So connecting with that heart space and the meridian line through that inner arm down to the outer pinky. Notice if the jaw is tensing or the eyes. And just soften in around the face. And we take in our final round of breath here, making that inhale a little fuller into the low belly. And then exhale, allowing that right knee to make its way back down to the mat as we unwind. And once again, maybe extending both arms and allowing the energy to dissipate, to go where it needs to go in the tissues. From here, we're going to make our way to a seated position. So maybe just kind of rolling to one side and pushing up. And before you get too comfortable seated, this is where I'd like you to use a blanket or a prop under your seat. So we have this bolster that's really thin, and we're going to place that right under our sits bones to help prop the hips. And if you don't have that, you could use even a cushion, couch cushion would be fine. And so when you're coming onto the prop, just notice how you can have your entire sits bones up on the prop and you're just elevated versus sliding off the prop slightly. So just kind of allowing the hips to roll down. And that's often a little more comfortable for seated postures, just kind of shifting the hips off the edge slightly, okay? So this is where we're going to begin, and we're going to take half shoelace with a stretch for the neck, okay? So let's extend our right leg long. I'm gonna mirror you guys. Right leg long, and then bringing the left knee over the right. And if there's a lot of space, you can stack. You can also prop a block under that bottom knee. That might feel nice. So find your half shoelace in the low body, and then bringing fingertips out to either side. And then beginning to drip that right ear down towards the right shoulder. As you do, you're going to feel some stretch down the left side of the neck. And you can, if you like, begin to just inch those left fingertips slightly further. And you may feel a little more sensation. So we're opening up down the outer line of the arm and the neck now, as well as some hip opening. So find any adjustments you need. Sometimes we need the first like 10-15 seconds to kind of wriggle around, find our optimal place in the pose.
And then we try to soften. We tend to hold a lot of tension in the neck and shoulders, of course. But, so in addition to softening that tension, we're also now working this meridian line that runs down the outer line of the arm. We're starting to tap into that one, which is the meridian line associated with the small intestine and the sanjiao in traditional Chinese medicine. So again, subtle, right? This energy line running down the outer line of the arm, and the small intestine is the yang organ in TCM. And the yin organs are interestingly considered a little more important in TCM. So we have the heart and the kidneys, which we did in winter, and then we had the liver in the spring. So there's a little more emphasis put on, I guess, caring for those organs in a sense, or just the importance of their function in our body. So the yin organ of summer is our heart and pericardium, which is the surrounding tissue, surrounds the heart. I'm gonna hold this for another minute or so. See if you can connect with, once again, your heartbeat, your lungs moving here. The lungs and the heart very connected. Just bringing your awareness to that space. Almost done. Be mindful in your pose. And now as we exit, very slow, take an inhale. Feel that low belly fill up. Exhale, first slowly bring head back up over the midline. Noticing that that neck may feel a little tender, sensitive right now, right? Sort of that dull ache from the yin work. And then use your right hand to lift that foot up off the right. And just lengthen both legs. Close eyes and notice. Notice the difference side to side. Notice sort of that pulsing of energy. Anything that comes up. That is what we're doing, right? The after effects help us really connect with the work of yin. And then we begin to set up on the other side. So first setting up the legs, and if you want to use a prop, then again, set that up for yourself. Bending the right leg this time and crossing it over the left so that the knees are, roughly stacked. Taking a moment to get those limbs in place in the lower body. And then bringing fingertips out to the side. And this time beginning to drip that left ear down towards the left shoulder. Noticing any restriction you might feel, any fascial tension, and meeting it, right? Honoring it, allowing the body to slowly open up. And if it feels good in your body, inching those right fingertips maybe just, a fingertip or two away. And settling in. may notice the tissues on the left side of the neck are still kind of recovering from the other side. And now we feel this energy line down that right line of the neck, down through the shoulder, the upper arm, maybe all the way down the forearm to the fingers. Remembering we're here to find joy in our movement, right? So not staying in any particular shape if it's not feeling really good, easing off in the shape so that it does bring a more enjoyable practice. Almost there. And now, again, on your next inhale, allow the breath to go a little deeper into the low belly. And then exhale slowly. First bring head back up over midline. Yeah, can feel a little bit tender, right? Give that a moment and then use your left hand to lift that left foot up and off. Sorry, your right foot up and off the left. And just notice. Tap into energy settling. And now blinking the eyes open, we're going to make our way down to our backs. And we're going to use again that prop that we were sitting on. And if you do not have something like this, then a roll blanket at home, okay? A roll blanket. And that is going to come right under our shoulder blades today. So we're making our way down and using this for a little bit of lift right behind our heart. So making your way down and ensuring that that bolster is right behind your heart, okay? So your shoulder blades are not coming off the bolster, they're on the bolster. And then arms can come out to a T or a little softer, like a softer T. And then your legs can be extended out. Now, I'm not using a block under my head, but if this feels like a lot in your neck, too much extension, then use your block to prop behind the back of your skull and provide a little lift for your head. But I find with the height of the bolster, it's almost too high for the head. And this brings a little opening into the neck, the throat chakra, as well as the heart chakra. And this is our pose. We're going to settle into this one for a long time now and really connect with this heart space, the back of the heart and the front. And if you would like, you can bring your feet into butterfly to open up through the hips as well. If you do that and you feel it sort of pinches in the low back, then please lengthen your legs long again, okay? So I'm gonna play some music. And as you settle into this posture, really bring your mind's awareness to that back of the heart, okay? I'm just turning down the lights in the studio. We often think of the heart in the front of the body alone, and we also have this back of the heart as a space to consider. And the back body is where we receive, right? We give from the front, we receive in the back body. So while you have this really supportive prop underneath that space of your heart, allow your body to receive that support, to feel comfort, to feel that softness, and allow that back of the heart to really melt into the prop as you open the front of the body as well. Okay? And we enjoy a little music now.
Connect to breathe as I come. Mobile device not found. Connected to breathe as I come. going to exit this posture. I feel like we could all stay in this one a lot longer. For now, we're going to shift. So if your knees are bent with feet in butterfly position, then please extend your legs out again, slowly. And then we're gonna just shift off to one side. So whatever feels more natural to you, just begin to roll to the left or the right and just slide that bolster out of the way and come right back down to your back body. Bringing arms down by your side and feeling your body now on the mat. Feeling the back of the heart, the neck, noticing. We are in that pose for about 6 minutes, just a little over 6 minutes. So that's longer than we hold most postures in yin. And you can often feel a real effect when we hold a little longer, especially when it's restorative like that. So kind of enjoy those sensations, allow them to fade away. And it really helps us tap into that parasympathetic nervous system as well. And then we bend one foot, plant it on the mat, and then the other, planting both feet on the mat. Maybe lifting, resituating the hips, and then drawing the knees into the chest. Yes, we are going to take a little bit of lower back love time here now. So rolling left and right, holding the shins or the back of the thighs, massaging out that low back. Feeling where you might be holding tension, any spots that feel sore today. Taking some bigger breaths, letting out any sighs that are coming through, not holding them in. And then finding a spot that maybe feels sore today and staying there, taking a breath. Exhale, let it go. And then begin to pulse the knees into the chest a little closer and away, feeling how that does massage out that spot. Usually feels really good, right? We don't often take this just bit of self-care time to attend to our low back. Even us teachers, we don't even take this time daily often to care for a little massage. And then flush it out. Go back and forth again, left to right, and maybe we find a spot in the other side. Or you can go back to the same one if you like. And land on it. Bring breath into that spot. Deep into the tissues. Exhale. And then a little pulse of the knees if it feels good, in and away. Bringing blood flow from the heart, oxygenated blood to the tissues. And then we let that go, again, just flushing side to side. And then you can take a hold of the right knee, allow that left leg to extend long. So extending that leg long on the mat, holding shin or thigh, back of thigh of the right, and squeezing that knee into the chest. Feeling how that opens up the front of the left hip while we compress into the front of the right and into the organs. Breath here. And then slide that knee down towards the armpit. So the right thigh kind of slides along the rib cage. Breath here. Enjoying this compression and also opening. Inhale, take a hold of the outside of the right knee with the left hand. Exhale, begin to draw that right knee across the body for a twist. And you may want to take a hold of a block that's near you and bring it right under that right knee. So we're going to come into this reclined twist here, and I'm going to give you a couple of options, and again, always options, right? So your arms can be a little soft down by your body, or you can bring them to a T or to cactus. That feels really nice to me today. I think I'm going to stay in cactus. My front right shoulder is very sore, so I'm probably going to stay here, but I do want to show you one other option. So in about 30 seconds or so, I'll give you the option to lift the bottom leg, the bottom foot towards your seat and take a hold of the left foot for pulling cat's tail, it's called. Okay, and that opens up the front of the quad, but we're gonna let the tissues just kind of open up here first. We'll take another few breaths here before we shift into that variation. And now, if you like, you can bend that left knee and reach down with the right hand and take a hold of the top of the left foot. So here now we're kind of changing the twist in the spines just slightly, but opening through the front of the left leg. If you prefer to have more chest opening, then release the foot and just take those cactus arms. And we settle in here. The head can be neutral. It can look out over the right arm, or you can even just allow it to softly drape down to the left. Enjoying that softer side of yin. And we're going to slowly, again, move out of this posture. So don't move just yet. Body awareness, take an inhale. Oxygenate body. And then exhale, begin to lift that right foot up first. Lifting right foot up and tuck it in behind the left knee. And then slowly roll back onto the sole of that right foot, allowing hips to roll back. It's kind of softer on the low back to ease out of that twist. And then bending the left knee and planting that foot on the mat with the right, press into your feet. And just hang out here for a beat. Noticing that change of energy on that side. We give our tissues a moment to rebound. And then we extend the right leg long and lift left foot up and take a hold of the shin or behind the thigh and squeeze that knee into the chest. Noticing that opening in the front of the right hip. A little pinching, compression in the left. And then slide knee down towards the armpit. Another breath cycle here. And then inhale, take a hold of the outside of the left knee. Left hand comes down to the floor for support and begin to draw that left knee across the body. Again, finding a block maybe for underneath the knee. And finding our arms in a T or a cactus, maybe pressing into the right elbow to lift that right shoulder up and replant. And giving our body a few moments to adjust before we take that option of holding our bottom foot. And now if it suits, you bend that right knee and take a hold of the top of the foot with the left hand. And you can then also begin to walk, edge that right knee closer to your seat. So move it away from the left knee, bringing more opening into the front of the leg. Head can stay at center. Option to look out over the left, or again, softly allow that right ear to just kind of hang out here, down towards the right shoulder. We begin to shift out of this side slowly. So if you're holding that right foot, gently releasing that grip, allowing the right foot to begin to return to the bottom of the mat, and then lifting the left foot up and tucking it in behind the right knee, rolling back onto that left foot, allowing hips to roll back. And then bending right knee, both feet on the mat, just press in and resituate your hips. And observe what's going on. You may be feeling a little bit drowsy or even a little cool at this point. And that's a really nice sign that you're moving into that parasympathetic nervous system. And before we go into Shavasana, we're going to do a little somatic movement that we've been doing for the past couple of months now to finish off practice. So keeping your knees bent and your feet on the mat. And now bringing your hands behind your head and interlacing your fingers and holding your head, kind of like when we do an abdominal workout, right? But we're not doing that, but just holding our head with elbows on the ground. And so with your elbows on the ground here now, begin to push into your elbows and the upper arms, pushing, feeling activation in through those lines in the arms, and then exhale, let it go. And again, inhale, push into the elbows, the upper arm bones towards the floor for a couple of beats, and then release. Exhale, soften. Inhale, activating elbows, shoulders into the mat, the floor, release. One more time. And pushing gently into the floor and release. And now you can release your head back to the mat and just bring your arms out to the side. You can be soft at your side or in a T. And beginning to arch that low back away from the mat. So rocking pelvis and low back arches. And then exhale, begin to roll that pelvis so that the low back then meets the mat. Inhale, rocking pelvis. Exhale, rolling back. Inhale, rocking pelvis, arching back. And this time allow the neck to arch. So the chin comes up towards the sky, rolling head. Exhale, rolling chin towards the chest and low back towards the mat. Again, inhale, arching back, arching neck, chin comes up towards the sky, and exhale. And we do that again. Inhale, rolling pelvis, arching back, arching neck. Maybe looking towards that wall behind you. Exhale, hearing that head roll. Pushing low back into the floor. And come to neutral. And now bringing arms out to a T. And your palms are facing up here. And this is a subtle movement. See if you can connect with it very mindfully. So begin to reach that right arm away from you, reaching out from that underarm. And then exhale, let it go, soften. Inhale, reaching those left fingertips away. And soften. So we're not forcing, but we're trying to lengthen. Inhale, right fingertips away from that underarm area. Down through the arm. And soften. Inhale, left fingertips try to reach. And soften. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale, right fingertips push towards that wall. Exhale. And left hand, inhale. Reaching and exhale. And one more little exercise. So we extend the left leg long. Left leg is long, left arm is out. Bend right elbow, right hand is on your chest now. Yes. We begin to push into that right foot, keeping the right knee pointing up. And we slide that right hand down our chest, down that line of the arm as we roll to the right. So just sliding arm across. Keeping head on the mat. Exhale, sliding hand on the arm back through over the chest. Inhale, push into that right foot, keep the right knee pointing up, sliding hand across that energy line down the arm, down to the fingertips, maybe a little past the left fingertips. And exhale. All the way back through center. We'll do that one more time on this side. Inhale, pushing into that right foot, knee points up. Sliding hand across the chest, across the inner elbow, down the forearm, down the hand, maybe a little past the fingertips reaching. And exhale, sliding that hand across the arm, all the way across the chest. Pausing here for a moment. And then switching sides. So we bend left elbow, left hand comes to chest, bend left knee, foot on floor, extend right leg long, extend right arm long, palm facing up. So we're just opposite sides now. And we push into the left foot, left knee stays pointing up. We slide that hand down the chest, down the inner arm, carrying our head roll on the mat, and sliding back. Unwinding patterns of stress here, patterns of tension. Inhale, pushing into the left foot, sliding that hand down the inner arm, elbow, maybe coming a little further than those right fingertips this time, and coming back. Exhale, and last time, really sense and feel your own body here. Close eyes, sliding arm, hearing head move. Head is heavy, fingertips roll past the bottom, slide past that bottom hand, and then sliding back through center. Nice. Let out any sighs if you need. Extend that left leg long. Bring your arms down by your side for Shavasana. Noticing your body here in space, kind of taking a little bit of a snapshot of how that body's feeling. Calm and supported sense that you feel right now. And then allowing those fingertips to get even softer, curling in. Reminder to let the shoulders be very heavy, bones heavy in the mat. Teeth part, jaw drops. Tongue releases from the roof of the mouth. And enjoy. Emphasis on joy here, Shavasana. exactly as you are. Soaking up this last moment of stillness. And appreciating this space, this energy that you've cultivated for yourself right here, right now. And then you can begin to wiggle the toes, move the fingers, the wrists, the ankles. Look left and right softly with the head. And slowly moving the body again. And if you like, you can reach your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers, turn them inside out, point your toes, and take a really nice big body stretch. Inhaling, letting it go through the mouth, and then rolling off onto your left side in fetal. And we take a breath or two in fetal as we are open on our back for a long time with all those poses. Just giving our body a moment to reorganize everything, resituate. And then pushing into that right hand to come up to a seat to close out our class. It's the hardest part of class, isn't it? Coming up to a seat. Keeping your eyes closed and bringing your hands in prayer right in front of that heart space once again. Nuzzling your thumbs in against your sternum. Noticing if you can feel that slight, subtle movement of your heart beneath your fingers. And allowing that heart to open up as you move through your day, through your week, and finding moments of joy through your day. Remembering that that joy is so important, so valued as you are. And I thank you for joining class, coming together in community. And I send many blessings from my heart to yours. Namaste. And take your time, everyone, resituating. Thank you.